We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message entitled The Sacred Palace's Location, Part 2 of 3, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on May 27th, 2024.
Most places on the planet had something to offer, good or maybe bad. It depends on where you live and whom you have as neighbors, yes, or as a country at large. Some countries had a lot more spiritual outlets than other countries. The UK, for example, has more good spiritual outlets. But one of the neighbors of the UK had a very bad quarter before. It's better now, since the zealous demon's king took up his new kingdom in the African mountains. And since the king of zealous ghosts also decided to lead a more virtuous, noble, and spiritual life. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. But everywhere you go, always be respectful. Bear in mind that God is everywhere. And saints and sages' energies are everywhere. And be reverent in your heart. Never look down upon anyone or any place, however barren or unfavorable it might look, because you never know. You never know what is in the air, what actually resides there, and what actually has been built there. Without psychic eyes, you cannot see. Okay, I hope I can remember to tell you about the king of zealous demons. Oh yeah, I have told you more or less a little bit that sometimes, they observe me over time, not just 1 day, 2 days. I myself did not know either. Like, for example, for a couple of days I was in the hospital. And there are some patients also near me. And because the hospital was so full, they had to sit in the corridor. I was also a patient myself, but I was more able. And so I went around asking if there was anything I could do for them, And then they asked me like, oh, I need more blankets. Please ask for me. Or my blanket fell down. Please cover me. I need some water. So I brought things to them, these small things. And also some old lady with garbage on top of her body, Not like garbage, but things that are discarded, like her old dirty mask. Or something that she cannot throw away because she was tied onto the bed. She couldn't move out of the bed because they had all kinds of machines attached to her and IV on her arms and legs so she could move. And then I just keep helping her to throw away the garbage. Or bringing her water and helping her to drink. Little did anyone know, including myself. I didn't think too much about that. I was more on a higher heaven than on earth. These people I help, the patients who were helpless in their bed or just sitting in the chair, who I just help to cover with a blanket or tuck him or her in because she couldn't do it himself or herself, or help her to find her handbag that she lost. Little did I know that they are the king of zealous demons, retinue or relatives and friends in human form. So, of course, they reported that to the king of the zealous demons. And he was very touched And he said that I'm really genuine and very loving and kind. And slowly, bit by bit, with all this information reported to him, he decided that he just quit, quit working in the direction that is against my wish, against my will. So he just removed himself with his citizens altogether and went to the African mountains where no humans will ever set foot because it's so remote and so impossible to access. And I have invited him to go to a higher place like Eiffel Sea, or between the fourth and fifth level, but he decided to stay here for now. Yes. He does help some wherever he can. He helped me in some situations as well. Yes, I'm also grateful to both of them. And I'm enjoying the love of the king of the zealous ghosts and his citizens as well that they're sending me. Every day is very, very comfortable. I'm so happy beyond description. I cannot describe to you how happy I am. You just know I'm happy. That's it, happier than a couple of years ago when these things have not happened yet. And because of, these things, I also remembered that most places on earth would still have some saints and sages energy, or some living saints and sages, or, deities all over the place. So we must always have reverence for the earth, for the place where you live, the food that you eat, because all the deities and the fairies have duties, Some have the duty to help the vegetables to grow. Some have the duty to make rain. Some have the duty to make thunder. Some are bad, some are good. They are all good. These deities who are assigned by heavens to serve humankind and beings on this planet alone, just particularly this planet. We are so many. I can't tell you everything everywhere. You can't see them much anyway. These deities, they are good. They just have to do what they have to do. So some receive good assignments, like making gentle rain, making beautiful clouds for sunrise and sunset, making, all kinds of things, beautifying the world, taking care that the flowers grow well, taking care of the stream and that the water, is running plentifully for humans to use. But some deities have to dry the lands and make havoc, make droughts and floods and all that. It's not that they're happy to do it. They just have to. Our karma forces them to do all these unfavorable things, earthquakes and stuff like that. It's also a warning to humankind to be more, humble, more virtuous. But it's very difficult to go through humans' ears. Also because of obstruction from demons, devils, the king of Maya, retinues, ghosts and all that. So the more we can be removed from, demons and ghosts, the better for us, of course. So I'm happy that 2 big groups of zealous demons and zealous ghosts have removed themselves from obstructing us from reaching spiritual attainment. It's much easier than before now that we don't have them around to try deliberately to hinder us. I'm so grateful to God Almighty and all the masters for these phenomena, which are very rare and hard to encounter. I'm so grateful, so grateful. I prostrated to God for all those favorable things that have been happening to us. I truly am so grateful. Please, you thank God, thank all the masters as well for me, with me, yes? Whenever you remember, not just one day, not just today, not just at our meditation hour for gratitude, but every time. Don't forget, okay? Everywhere has something also for us to revere. That's why the indigenous peoples would normally produce some psychic, citizens who can see things. They can see which mountain has light, has deities, has reverence for God, or a shrine, or a palace that has been built to revere some or one of the masters or some saints and sages who benefit humanity, who have passed by, lived there some days or sometimes. We can never be grateful enough. That's why when, some people invaded the Virgin America long hundreds of years ago, many American Indian people want them not to destroy this place, not to develop that area, not to, ruin that mountain, because they say those areas are sacred. It was true like that. I know it on myself too. Because sometimes if a true master or a big saint, stayed there or continued to reside there or left already, the environmental deities, the local deities or nearby deities would come together, use their power to build a palace for worship, for loving, peaceful worship. That's what they call it, okay? The exact words they put out like this: to build a loving, peaceful place of worship for those saints or sages or masters, which they know are a benefactor for the land and worthy of their reverence. I know that myself, because even as humble a being as I am, as I usually like to stay on islands. So sometimes I bought some islands, or sometimes I bought a piece of land for you to meditate. For example, like in New Land Ashram, we have a small island, but it's not small. In the spiritual dimension, it could be huge, very huge. So they even built, a palace there to worship Master Ching Hai. Yes. And it normally would be in the air around 9-10 meters above whatever existing surface, either ground or a roof of something, like a roof of a cave or roof of a house. If the master's not there, they will begin to build a palace with gold, diamonds, jewelries, that I quote I quote the words of the reporting deity, that world has never seen before. Gold jewels that the world has never seen before. That's the quote of the report to me. Yes, about some of my palaces that they built. Even some so-called island, it's just, in a small lake. And it's a very small island, but they could also build a palace on top of it. After I left, it was about 9 meters above the ground. But that palace can also be moved higher or lower accordingly. Yeah. And it's about 70 meters high and 90 meters wide. And also round, like some kind of circumference. It's studded with gold and jewels that are exceptionally beautiful, and on earth, nothing can compare. It's a different kind of gold, different kind of jewels, It's not like the ones that we see, even though the ones we see on earth and wear are also beneficial. The more so if they are designed by heaven through a master or a great saint. Yes. The deities just do it, nobody asks them to. I never knew they did until later on, when something happened there. And then I would ask some local deity gods, why did such a thing happen? Then they would explain to me, because so-and-so person came to your island you inhabited before and disturbed the peace and construction of the offering deities. That is their words, not mine.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.